cheer, please welcome Academy Award winner, Julie Andrews.
Rosie.
How are you?
It's about time, huh?
I know. It's so weird to meet you because I love you.
Well, that's the best build-up that I've ever heard, Rosie, and you made me so nervous eventually.
I did? Yeah. Really? Well, if you ever get nervous, point to me and I'll play. And it'll calm you right down.
You think so?
I think it will. Now, listen, let me tell you this. When I was a kid, my mom died when I was 10. And my siblings used to watch that movie and wish that my dad would find somebody like Maria von Trapp. Do you know what I mean? Because it was like my fantasy that you would come and be my mom and live at my house and make me close out of curtains.
Well, if I'd known. I mean,
sure.
Yeah.
Was it a wonderful, experience doing that movie? Do you have fond memories of that?
It was gorgeous, and I still keep in touch with the children. Well, of course, they're not children anymore. All the kids are now, mums themselves, and the little teeny baby is now this kind of Monroe-like figure, and
really?
Gorgeous, yeah. But we do. We've just recently, in the last 3 years or so, had our 25th anniversary, and every 10 years or so, we get together and have a big old celebration and things like that.
Was it a long shoot when you shot the film? Was it?
Yes, it was. It seemed, endless, because we started, I think, in Hollywood. We then went to Austria. We then came back to Hollywood, and it went on and on and on. But it was one of the most beautifully planned and meticulously filmed films. I mean, it was real craftsmanship of the best kind.
Now, it's sort of an odd question, but when you're in the process of making a movie like that, do you have any concept that it's going to be sort of what it became?
I don't think you ever can, estimate that it's going to be that big a hit. The most important thing for us was to kind of take some of the saccharine quality of, kids and mountains and nuns and things like that.
Right.
We thought it could get awfully icky if we weren't careful. So we I think Chris Plummer helped a lot in that respect.
He did. You know what we were going to do?
What?
Get him to come out and do Edelweiss, because he's doing a play here, but he wasn't available.
Oh, is he here yet?
I think he's coming in. He's
right next to us at the next theater.
Because you're going back to Victor Victoria.
On Monday. On Tuesday, yeah.
Now, okay, you do the movie. Your husband says we're going to make it into a musical. What did you think?
Well, it sort of was a natural. People kept telling us it would make the most marvelous Broadway musical, and we were going to do it about 10 years earlier, and so I can't remember what happened. It just didn't. The timing wasn't right, and it didn't work out. And but it's always been sort of there that it really would adapt to the stage marvelously.
Yes.
And I must say, I am having a ball. I'm very grateful to have had the rest, but.
Yeah, how long were you off for?
I was off for 4 weeks.
4 weeks,
yeah.
And where'd you go?
I went to Switzerland.
You did?
Yes. We have a hideaway home there, which is just very private and very beautiful. And I did nothing. I just ate too much and slept too much and watched a few videos and walked and things like that, and watched my lovely new grandchild.
Oh, yeah? How many grandchildren do you have?
I have 5 altogether.
No kidding.
Yeah, 5 kids and 5 grandchildren.
Well, good for you. Do they watch Mary Poppins ever?
They do when they're old enough, yeah.
They do?
The kids did when they were young, and now the grandchildren are starting to.
Do they put it together that that's Grandma or that was Mommy?
Well, yeah, eventually they do. Sometimes the grandchildren don't, I had a little girl that came to see me in Victor Victoria the other day, and she saw a brochure of The Sound of Music on my dressing table, and she said, and she looked, and she said, "Is that you?" And she pointed to the picture of Maria, and I said, "Yes, I did that too." She said, "But that's one of my favorite people in the whole world." And it was very sweet because she couldn't quite connect that it was that I'd done that.
Exactly, yeah.
Because she was in love with that person,
That's sort of how I feel right now.
You're sensational.
I do. It's the truth. Don't go anywhere. We have so much more to do with you. We have songs. I got digicards. We want to talk.
Oh, okay.
Julie Andrews is here. Have I mentioned it? Big fan of. We'll be right back with her after this break. poppin'.
You know, you have the best English accent. What part of England do you come from?
Well, actually, my dad's from Ireland.
Really?
And when I was a kid, after my mom died, we all went back there for a little while,
Yeah.
and I was out playing soccer with all my cousins, and when I came in, I had the accent. I was only like 10. But I was like...
So you had it down, huh?
I just sort of pick it up, I don't know, but I love it. It's beautiful. What part are you from?
I'm from about 20 miles outside of London, a little village called, well, it used to be a little village called Walton-on-Thames, and it's on Thames.
And when did you come to the U.S.?
I came when I was 18 years old, just about to turn 19, in a play called The Boyfriend.
And you were, did you start singing when you were a very young girl over there?
Yeah, I did. My mother was a fine pianist, and my stepfather was a singer. And they had a vaudeville act. And when my mother and stepfather married, I think my stepfather thought, well, let's see how I can get close to this little girl who doesn't like me very much, because, you know, he was a stepdaddy and taken away my real daddy and so on. So he started to give me singing lessons, and to his surprise, and everybody's, they discovered that I had this freak voice, huge. I had about a 4-octave, 5-octave range, and, you know, dogs would come from miles around when I sang. And so he started giving me singing lessons, which I hated.
You did?
Yeah, I did at first. I mean, no 7-year-old wants to, you know, stay in and practice. But, boy, am I glad they made me stick with it, you know.
And you had an adult
yes.
sound right from the time
Yeah, well, my mother said, you know, I think we better go check that she's not damaging her throat, because she is so young, and I'm singing all these coloratura arias and things. So they suggested that I go see a throat specialist. And we had a lady that helped clean in the house, and she said, I will let you have one of my cigarettes if you'll go and buy them from the store. So I would sneak one behind the bathroom door at 7, if you please, and think that I was no end of a clever girl. And of course, when it came time to go to the throat specialist, she freaked, and she said, oh, they're going to look down your throat and they're going to see it's all black from smoking. And the poor guy could barely open my mouth, you know. And of course, all he discovered was that I had a very grown-up voice in a young kid's body.
And you never smoked since?
No, I haven't touched it since.
Good,
no,
good.
no,
For you. You know, I never tried it.
Well, you're smart.
No, I've done other bad things. I'm not saying I'm an angel girl, but I'm just saying that's what... It always sort of grossed me out.
Well, it doesn't taste... I mean, if you sing, it certainly doesn't taste very good, and it gets in every crevice of your head, you know.
Now, how do you keep yourself in shape with your voice and the physical amount of exertion you have to do in that show 8 times a week? Because it killed me when I did a show. It killed me.
It is, and Victor Victoria is an exhausting show. There's no doubt about it.
So many costume changes.
I have, I think, about 14, 16. Susie, how many? 13. My
Susie's
lovely
here.
Susie, who looks after me in the dressing room, and Al, my wonderful hairdresser, who puts on my mics. They're all...
Hi, Al. Hi, Susie. It's Julie Andrews you're working with. Do you know that? Yeah. Do you ever sing Supercalifragilistic in the dressing room?
Call me Goat Herd.
All right, here you go. Just for you guys.
High on a hill was a lonely goat herd.
Puts them away when I do that.
Do you do that in the dressing room?
Well, I did it once, but that was it.
Oh, do you think maybe you could... Just that little part, right?
You know what? I don't think I could yodel if I tried.
Oh, you couldn't do it, Al.
Later,
all right.
Later,
We'll do
okay.
it later. We got more time with you.
Yeah.
But do you have to keep yourself?
Yeah, I do. I exercise every day. I mean, I'm one of those ladies that I exercise only to the point where I think I can manage, because I think it's so stupid to go beyond the limit. And there's so much to do in a day, and I never get enough time to do it.
Do you have a specific amount of time, like you do an hour a day or something?
I do about 45 minutes of stretching and some aerobics and some ballet bar, and, you know, all the things that I know work for me. And then I do about 45 minutes of singing practice every day. But by the time you've done that and you've you know, gotten to the theater and put your makeup, I mean, the days go very fast.
And with only one day off a week.
2 shows Wednesday, 2 Saturday, and the show is so heavy that I actually don't get off stage at all. I do all the changes on the side of the stage, and Al and Susie and one other lady help me make the quick changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you go out afterwards, like to Joe Allen's?
Are you kidding?
No.
I'm a nun again.
Yes.
No, I don't think... On my holiday, I finally said, this is the first time in 2 years I've been out to supper. And it was wonderful, and not to have a deadline and things like that.
You know, when you say supper, it sounds so good. I was out to supper. I said, well, had some supper. It's a whole different thing. Do you remember in The Sound of Music, do you watch General Hospital ever?
I used to, yeah.
You know Mrs. Quartermain? The matriarch of that show? She is from...
Oh, yeah. Yes, yes.
She's the one who said, Reverend Mother, I have sinned, and she had the carburetor.
No.
She is now on General Hospital.
No.
She's like 85 years old.
Oh, my Lord.
Do you know her
Really?
name?
Not Portia Nelson. Not that.
I don't know. There were 3 nuns, remember, and they went out and they had the carburetor when Rolf
Yes,
told
I
on you.
remember. Yeah.
Okay, and then she's the one who holds the carburetor. I'll find out her name during the commercial. We have research.
I thought it was Portia Nelson.
Maybe it's Portia Nelson.
After 25 years, would I remember? Doubtful.
I think you would. Yeah. I think you would. Don't go anywhere, right? We might sing a little bit after the commercial. With Julie Andrews. Stay right there. Victor, Victoria. Now you're going back in.
Starting on Tuesday.
Starting on Tuesday.
Yep.
Now you've been in the show for what? Over a year and a half?
Oh yeah, it's about 2 years. Right now, it's about 2 years since we started rehearsals and all of that kind of thing. Yeah.
And how long are you going to run to? Do you have any idea?
Well, roughly till the end of May, I think, is when my time is up with the show. So it's another 4 or 5 months.
Yeah. So if you got to get your tickets to go see Julie Andrews in the next 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
And on February 3rd, you're being inducted into the Theatre Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'm absolutely.
So deserved.
Yeah. On Monday.
This Monday, yeah?
Yeah.
That's a big
real treat, yeah.
Did you grow up wanting to do theater or movies or a combination? Or?
You know what, with my parents being in show business anyway, it was just seemed a natural thing, and I didn't think I was good for anything else, you know, so I just sort of followed along.
Now, a lot of people don't know that you've written children's books.
Yes.
Not just little, like See Spot Run, actual big novel kind of teenager. How did this come about?
The first book is called Mandy, and we were on location for a film called Darling Lily, and it was the first year that my husband Blake and I had sort of pooled all our kids, his, mine, and ours, and we went away on location to France. It was the most extraordinary experience, but the kids were wild. There's just no doubt about it. Mayhem is the best description for it. Laundry wasn't picked up, beds weren't made, trash was everywhere. They didn't brush their teeth. They, threw things. I mean, there were 3 of them at that time, and it was madness. So I finally, in true Mary Poppins fashion, said, "Okay, everybody, we're going to stop this, and you're going to start behaving yourselves. And if you don't, you're going to have to pay some forfeit." So we worked out what they were, which I can't remember now. And our eldest daughter said, whose name is Jenny, said, "Yeah, but you have to play too." And I said, "Okay, I'll play, but what would my forfeit be?" And she said, "Well, you have to stop swearing so much."
Do you swear a lot?
Well, I did that summer, I can tell you.
That is shocking! Julie Andrews swears a lot?
Wonderful British 4-letter swear words.
No kidding!
Yeah, once in a while.
I can hardly imagine it.
Listen, anyway, the forfeit for me was that I had to write a little something for Jenny if I was the first one to lose, of course, because something happened and I went crazy. And so she said, "Aha, you've got to write me a story." So I thought it would be like an Aesop's fable or something, just two pages. It turned into a book, and I had such a great time doing it, and Blake was so encouraging that I wanted to write the second one.
Well, good for you. The last of the really great Wangle Doodles.
No, Wang Doodles.
Oh, sorry, Wang Doodles. There you go.
Do you know what that is?
I have no idea.
It's a humorous, mythical creature of fanciful and undefined nature.
That's just what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Now, I was wondering, I know that you do the show and you sing every night, and probably singing here with me on the show is something you wouldn't want to do, but I was curious if there would be any way, possibly Miss Julie Andrews, every song you've ever sang, I know all the words to, including Thoroughly Modern Millie, but if you don't want to, I'd understand, but...
No, I'd be very happy.
Oh, thank you! Thank you! Thank you!
I was just letting you go on.
Letting me go, all right.
But, wait, yeah. I'm told that people bring you presents, and I thought that since you do sing every song that I've ever done, this might be very helpful to you.
Okay.
It's my favorite pastil that I use on the show, in the show, and whenever I can, I suck one of those and I sing 10 times better.
All right.
So shall we have one each?
Start, let's have
do that.
a little.
All right.
There you go.
2 is better.
Wow, they're black.
Yeah, take 2. They're
right.
very. You can't just take one.
I'll take 2.
Okay.
I've
it's
never
very
taken
hard
one of
to sing with 2 of these in it.
Okay.
But,
I'll
you know.
try it if you will.
Right. All
It's
right.
an interesting sort of nearly licorice grape flavor.
It's actually blackcurrant.
That's what I meant. Black currant is what it is. It is actually black currant.
Aren't they good?
They're very good.
Wait. You'll enjoy it more and more as you go on.
Okay.
Can you sing?
I can if you can.
It got stuck on my tooth, but I'll try.
Okay.
Me first?
You first.
Right.
You okay?
Yes.
All right.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things. You take the next one, okay?
I'll take it?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Green-colored ponies and crisp apple strudels, doorbells and sleigh bells and schnitzel with noodles.
Perfect.
Wild geese that fly with the moon on their wings. These are a few of my favorite things.
Good for you.
Thank you very much.
Wait. Together. Girls in white dresses with blue satin sashes, snowflakes that stay on my nose and eyelashes, silver white winters that melt into springs. These are a few of my favorite things. When the dog bites, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel so bad.
I love you.
Integrated.
That's good. I wish you could be my mom.
I'll try.
Go see Victor Victoria at the end of May with Julie Andrews. Stay tuned for David James Ellis.